what this is for, and this might save a couple people that might be on here that are going to be wasting their time, is I'm going to talk about, first of all, the people that this is for, and then the people that it's not for. Okay. So number one, the people that this is for, this training we're about to do, this is for people that believe in the rank and rent model. Okay. I know me personally, I've tried a whole bunch of different businesses. I've tried doing an SEO business, and we'll get into that. I've tried doing website building. I tried to do a software company. This is for people that believe in the rank and rent model. Okay. You might be new to it, but you believe in it. It resonates with you, and you can see how it's something that you want to build your, you want to make your vehicle. Okay. Let me add Hireman really quick. We'll keep going. Okay. This is also for somebody that has sites that are ranking, but they're partially ranking, and they're only producing sporadic leads. So some of you guys have bought other programs that taught you rank and rent. You've watched YouTube, whatever, right? You learned from somebody else. You have a couple sites. They might be ranking a little bit, but they're not completely ranking. This is for you. The other person this is for is somebody who has sites that are ranking and you just can't sell them. I know that I've been in that situation before. You built sites, you've been through a program, you've watched YouTube, you got a site, it's producing 20, 30, 40 leads a month for the last 6 months, and you can't seem to figure out how to sell it for a flat fee. This is also for you. And then lastly, this is also for people who have had some success, but they just haven't been able to scale. Okay. Like maybe you've gotten a flat fee deal here, a flat fee deal there, kind of by luck. Maybe you got a commission deal, you got a pay-per-lead deal, but it's like just a big jumbled mess, and you want to start scaling. That's who it's for. Okay. The people that it's not for are the following. And if you're any of this, I'm not going to be offended. I would prefer this, so I'm not wasting my time and yours. But if you're not sold on rank and rent being the model, if you're not sold on the process of rank and rent, if you're still like, I don't know if it works, I don't trust it, this probably isn't going to be worth your time. And honestly, I would jump off. I wouldn't waste your time. This is for people who are sold on rank and rent. And if you're not there yet, that's fine. But if you're I don't know. Let me, if you could mute, that'd be awesome. Let me just mute everybody just so we don't have some background noise. Okay, we're good. Last two things is people that are dabblers. If that's you, this isn't going to be fun for you. I promise it's not going to be. I'm somebody that's all in on everything that I do. So you're going to see that in my tone. It's not going to be a good training for you. And then lastly is if you're kind of like the person who has tons of time and they don't necessarily value their time, this might not be a great training for you either. Okay. So here's what we're going to talk about today. And this is where we're going to get into the meat and potatoes of this. And some of this you guys might have seen a little bit on some of the videos, and you'll start to see in the group. But we're going to talk about a couple things. Okay. So I'm going to read these off. I listed these, like, this is my goals for the next few minutes. Okay. Number one is I want to show you guys and explain to you that flat fee, okay, lead gen in particular with the rank and rent model is the business, right? That's the model that we're all going after. But inside of that, there's a lot of ways to monetize. There's pay per lead, there's commission, there's arbitrage, there's all these different ways. I'm going to convince you guys tonight, or I'm going to show you why flat fee is the only way that this works. I've done all of the above. This is the only way to build a business. That's number one. Number two is I'm going to show you guys that the only, that you guys can do this. This is like the most important part. You guys can get these ranked, or you guys can get these sites rented out for a flat fee, and you can do it without waiting for the sites to rank. Okay. Some of you guys might be like, how the heck is that possible? I promise you guys, I was in the same boat. I thought you had to build the site, SEO, backlinks, content, this, that, time, GMB, and wait 3 months, 6 months, 8 months, 9 months. And that's what I did in the beginning. You do not have to do that. And I'm going to show you guys proof that you don't have to do that. So I'm going to show you how to get the flat fee that you deserve without waiting for your sites to rank. And that's including if you want to pre-sell, that's including if you want to sell what you currently have that's producing sporadically or consistently. Okay. Number three is I'm actually going to show you guys the strategy for how to get your first flat fee deal. And if you've gotten a flat fee deal, it was by accident, or you're like, hey, I got a flat fee deal, but I don't know how to replicate that. This is going to be very, very important for you. And then the last one is I'm going to show you guys exactly what I used to literally go from making between $6,000 and $10,000 of SEO money. And some of you guys might be in that position. You have SEO deals or web builds. I went from that in December of 2019 and almost threw in the towel on this whole agency thing. I was just going to go be a sales guy. And in 2020, we literally did $1 million. And as you saw, just barely, we did 1.5 in 2021. And this year, I would be shocked if we don't do 3 million. Okay. And I'll prove it. Like I'll do screenshots, the whole deal. So those are the things that I want to go over. That's the goals from this this training we're going to do. So here's the deal. First of all, I'm going to crack this really quick because my mouth's getting dry. I don't know if you guys are Red Bull fans, but I do not, for anyone that's wondering, I do not take Adderall or cocaine. I just have a lot of energy. But if you guys get me talking about a boring subject, I'm lame. You get me talking about sales and I get jacked. Okay. So let me tell you guys just a little bit about me. Okay. So I'm going to start from the beginning, but I'll condense it. Okay. 2016, which is just about 6 years ago, I listened to a podcast that one of my buddies did, and he was interviewing this guy that talked about the rank and rent model. And I'm a big guy. I love real estate. I've read Rich Dad, Poor Dad. As soon as I heard it, probably like many of you guys, I'm like, dude, wait, you can do real estate online and it's low cost to get in. And there's huge, I'm like, no way. No. So I follow this guy all the way to his website. I did a training. I don't know. I can't remember. I signed up for a call and I thought I was just getting on like a discovery call, right? I'm in the parking lot. I'm selling home security systems in Alabama. I told my wife, I'm like, hey, I'm taking this call. She's like, sounds good. No intention of buying this thing. I get on and the guy's a hell of a salesman. And next thing you know, I'm like $8,000 deep in a course. And I'm like, okay, that was quick. I'm in, right? So that's what happened in 2016. So I'm knocking doors during the day, door to door, doing sales. But I'm like, this is terrible. This is the worst job ever. I was making great money, but it wasn't a way of life. And so I was knocking doors from 2 to 9 at night. I would come home, eat dinner, and then I would turn on my training videos and I was building websites at night. Like it was a crazy schedule, but I was so desperate to get out of that situation. I would have done anything. So here's the kicker. I actually built 2 sites while I was out in Alabama. And I actually got my first deal with a local towing company. I hate towing, by the way. We'll talk about that later. Don't go into towing from this moment forward, but I did it because everyone does it in Huntsville, Alabama. And I got a deal literally in Alabama while I'm knocking doors. Like one of the mornings I drove out, got a deal. So I made money, proof of concept, the whole thing. I get done for the summer because this is a summer job. And I'm too good for this program. I'm like, dude, I don't want to have to tell people I'm a local marketer. I do lead generation. It just sounds lame. I'm like, what's in my head? It's easy to admit now, but at the time I was like, what's cooler? What sounds cooler? And so I thought it sounded cool to start a software company. I'm like, that sounds sexy. Like software people make $100 million exits, right? Thinking I'll just start a software company and make millions, right? Start the software company. I go almost a whole year and I sold 5 clients on a software that was in beta. That's what the developer kept telling me, in beta for 6 months. The guy didn't give me a line of code. And this isn't a sob story. It was my bad. I didn't vet the guy out. It was on me, but I didn't get a line of code. So I had to go back. I paid everyone back their money. We made no money for the whole year. My wife comes to me on July 28th of 2017. And she's like, I love you, babe, but it's time you pull your head out of your ass and start making money for our family. She's like, we have $3,000 in the bank. And keep in mind, I've been making $150K and plus for 4 years. Like we were used to a certain lifestyle. I had a home. I had a rental that we had just sold. I had cars. I had 2 kids. Like we had bills. She's like, we got $3K. You're going to get a job. And I'm like, no. I'm not getting a job. Like I'm too prideful, like in my heart. So I said, babe, give me 3 days and I'll get $3,000. She's like, okay, that's a deal I'm willing to take. She's like, there's no way he's getting $3,000. I pulled this program out of the woodworks. I'm like, because I knew I had it. And I'm like, I kind of know how to build sites. I hit up 3 guys that I knew in that industry, in the home security system industry, which is a terrible niche for rank and rent, by the way. If you ever need to like ask about niches that suck, I've tried them. Do not do that niche. But I was desperate. So I hit up my 3 buddies. I'm like, dude, I'm doing lead gen, blah, 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 blah. $1,000. I'll give you free leads for 6 months. I don't care. Just give me $1,000. Boom, boom, boom. 3 sales in 3 days, got the 3 grand. My wife's like, she was shocked, of course, but I'm like, okay, give me 30 days. Give me 30 days. And so from that moment forward, I did what I had to do. And I started building an SEO company because I needed the cash. So from 2017, basically August, until the next summer, I was all SEO, hitting up the golf course, posting on Facebook, hitting up my buddies, you guys have probably done it, these value posts on Facebook. And I couldn't get past like that 6 to 10K mark. Every time I would get close, I'd have clients quit. Every time I'd get close, I would rank somebody and they'd quit. And I couldn't do it. And so by the mid-summer of 2018, basically, I'm like, dude, I got to go into lead gen. And I made a mistake is I went and built like 100 lead gen sites. And I started doing a pay-per-lead model because I did one and it worked. And it was in like a really tough niche, water restoration niche. And so I'm like, that worked. Let's keep doing it. And so I went and just went crazy and built all these sites. And I was making pretty decent money because of the pay-per-lead model. And I was probably like you guys, like pay-per-lead's great. I got no ceiling, whatever, right? Let me tell you why pay-per-lead sucks. This is wrapping up the story. Winter comes. And in the winter, when you're on pay-per-lead and you do these kind of businesses, your income goes to nothing. Okay. But now I got an office, I got employees. Now I'm back on my feet and I'm like, dude, I'm back in the same spot. And I still have, by the way, at this point, I had $60,000 in debt. I should have included that. I had $60,000 in debt from that previous failure. Okay. So it's almost worse. And then this gets even worse as I go another year and I do the same thing. We get through the winter, spring comes, leads pick up. It's pretty good, but I'm really only making probably 10K net, like tops, but I'm like on paper, it looks like I'm making 30, but I'm actually only taking in 8 to 10. And all the way I did that again. And I literally waited until another winter hit. So I had to wait. It took this freaking thick skull 2 winters. Winter number 2, I get to that winter and I'm like, I'm done. I'm done. Me and my wife went on a cruise and I hit up the guy in the course that I had purchased. And I said, dude, I'm good at sales. I can't run an agency. I hate this. Bring me on as a sales guy, put him on my calendar and I'll go close him. This is in 2019. This is like literally 2 years ago, just over 2 years ago. I said, I'm done. And we started talking and he's like, all right, man. And we went back and forth. And I ultimately looked at my goals. And luckily I was smart enough. I took one of these things and I wrote one question at the top. I put, what do you want? But I think I put like, what the F do you want? Because I was pissed off. And I literally put that. And I want $1 million a month. That was my goal. And I'm like, okay, why? And I kept going and going and going. And I started looking at it and I'm like, if I just go and be a salesman, I'll probably get to 20K really fast because I'm good at sales, but I'll never get to 100K. So I'm like, you know what? I got to buckle down. I got to figure this out. And so 2020 was my year. I'm like, this is pre-COVID, obviously, right before. I knew, I'm like, I've tried pay-per-lead. I know commission ain't going to work because it just doesn't make sense because there's no skin in the game. I'm not doing arbitrage and I'm not doing SEO. The only thing that's left is flat fee. And I looked at all my clients that I had, and I had a couple clients that I'd had for, a year and a half. And I'm like, dude, these are the flat fee clients. Why don't I have more of these? So 2020, I was like, all right, this is the year I'm figuring out flat fee. And that is where this entire story literally starts. Okay. So basically what I'm going to go over and the process I'm going to show you guys is every deal I've gotten since December-ish of 2020 until now, more like December 2019, March, April of 2020. Every single deal that I've gotten has been from this process. Now, I had 8 to 10K of like pay-per-lead / SEO. those numbers I just showed you guys, that's not SEO. That's not web builds. That's not that is lead generation. Okay. That is it. That is all that I make my money from now. And by the way, just so everybody knows, let me clear the air. Some of you guys are probably like, Nick, if you're doing so well in your agency, why are you doing a program? Why we have this program? Like, and if you haven't thought about that, you should. I'll tell you why. Most people will tell you the bullshit answer, which is, I like helping people. I like to help people. No, bullshit. The reason I'm doing this is because it's a revenue stream, guys. It's a revenue stream. I've mastered a process, and now I'm leveraging my knowledge to create a revenue stream. And it's not taking me away from the main thing. So make no mistake about it. I love watching people get deals, but I'm also trying to grow my empire. So I'm going to let you know, I'm the shallow guy to say it, but everyone's thinking it. That's why I'm doing this. It's not because I'm a philanthropist or anything like that. This is a way to scale yourself. And I would encourage you, if you get in and into anything and you master something and it's a problem and you solve it, go sell the program. Why not? That's the advice I wish somebody else would have given me 2 years ago instead of waiting this long. But anyway, just so you guys know, that's why. So before I go over this, I have to show you guys again, really quick on my screen. I'm not the only person. Let me share this and then I'll pop over. Hold on one second. I'm going to go like this. Hang tight. All right. Where is my window at? Okay. There you guys are. Now, if I can just, okay, cool. Okay. Let me share this really quick. I think when I first started this, everyone is like, okay, Nick, that's great. But maybe Nick, it's because he does it in a sombrero or he's weird or whatever. Guys, by the way, I haven't talked about this. I'm wearing this ridiculous outfit because that's what I love about this business. Today, I don't wear this every day. Today, I just felt good. I felt like feeling like a boss at work. I just threw on the tie and the white shirt and the suit coat and just wanted to turn some heads. So it was literally just for fun. Okay. And then I'm like, you know what? What should dude, and then guys, I've closed deals. If you haven't been in the group long, I have literally closed deals wearing this indoors at night. And the point was, this process works so well. You can wear whatever you want, including a sombrero that looks ridiculous that I picked up in Cabo, and you could still close deals. That's how confident I am. So I'm like, dude, this is ridiculous. Let's just wear it. So everyone I think was like, well, Nick can do it, but let me show you a couple people. Eugene Song. We're going to go into a few of these, but Eugene Song, he's been in, you can see here, he's closed multiple deals. This is one of the deals he posted. Okay. That's a guy that's in the group. Karim, this is a guy, he's actually up in Washington. Somebody was in Washington. This guy was terrified of the phone. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Terrified of the phone. He's over the 5K mark, and he was in another program for almost 3 years, and he got his first deal within like 28 days. Okay. Burhan, this guy, I always make fun of him on my lives because we have a good relationship. He was that cheap guy that when he got into my stuff, he was like trying to swing a deal. I'm like, dude, you're messing with the wrong guy. He's killing it. And he's in the niche I hate. I told him he's crazy, but he's in the towing niche, and he's like, this is a real deal. You guys can hit him up $850, $100 per week for a towing client. And the best part is it was in December. You know, the month when everyone's like, you can't get deals, you take it off. Dude, most of these deals, look at this, December, February. I tried to get a little bit of a mix. Okay. Elvis, this is a crazy one. $5,400 a month deal that he got. You guys can go did an interview with him. Same process. Ashley, when I talked to her, she was like almost in tears, ready to give up on this thing. She was anyway, the point is Yvette, single mom, literally in our interview with her, she got her kid on her lap. She's like, I don't know what, I'm like, cool, bring him. That's like the reality. She's a single mom doing it, and she's got her first deal. Been in another program 6 years and finally got her first deal within the first 3 weeks of being in my stuff. And then Reem, dude, this was crazy. She did 10K in January. Okay. Last one, somebody here. Linda, this was insane. She won't brag, but this chick right here, she did in February, she did 7 deals. And guys, when I'm saying deals, I'm talking about flat fee deals. I'm not talking about like 7 referrals. These are flat fee deals. So my point with showing you this, guys, is before I get into the process, this isn't like Nick's the sombrero guy and he talks fast and he's got Red Bull and the whole thing, and that's why it works for him. These are people without sales experience. These are people that have whatever, all situations. And for the people that are in other countries, I got people I got people in Ireland, UK, Australia, Canada, you name it, that are closing deals. And I'm not just saying that because I could see you're from Canada, James. I literally have 3 people from Canada that have closed deals. So it doesn't really matter. But anyway, just wanted to show you that really quick. So here's what we're going to cover. Okay. We're going to cover 3 things and then we're going to pop through them real quick. Number one, and these are, I'm going to call them secrets, but they're basically the things that I've been using, but I'm just going to refer to them as secrets, but they're not really secrets. I'm not hiding them. Okay. So the 3 things is how to sell your existing sites as well as pre-sell. So if you have existing sites or you just want to start fresh, how to sell your existing sites and pre-sell for a flat fee without waiting for these things to rank. That will allow you to scale. And we do that by sending results in advance, leveraging paid ads. Okay. That's the process I'm going to show you. That's secret number 1 is you don't have to wait. You do not have to wait for 3-6 months for these sites to rank to sell them. Okay. Number 2, secret number 2, and you guys aren't going to believe this, but I'm going to prove it to you. You don't need previous sales experience. I did come from previous sales experience. If you have it, it's not going to hurt you, but you do not need it. I will prove that to you. And then the secret number 3 is you don't need to wait. I'm sorry. I just barely, hang tight. Sorry, I mixed that up. The first one, that's the same one that I put, is you don't need to wait for your sites to rank. The first one is how we actually sell our sites for a flat fee, which is leveraging paid ads. So we're going to go through those 3 things and they all kind of go together. Okay. So let's talk about number 1, which is the actual process. Okay. So when I got in my first program, I was probably similar to you guys. And I honestly thought that you had to build a site, do the SEO, wait for the leads to come in. And then I thought you had to wait for a certain amount of leads to come in. Okay. And this is what I learned. Okay. If you guys think there's like a certain number of leads, you're going to be waiting a long time. Okay. You don't need to wait for anything like that. So I'm going to convince you guys right now that flat fee is the only way that you're going to want to scale this business. Okay. So back to the first part of 2020. I knew that I was going to do flat fee. That was my game. I knew I had to be. Pay per lead didn't work. Commission didn't work. SEO didn't work. I'm like, it's got to be flat fee, right? So this is what happened is I started trying it. I tried all sorts of stuff. I tried like getting people on a sales call. I was driving around in my car. I'm like, I'm good on the phone, whatever. I tried doing an email campaign with Woodpecker, which is like an outreach. I tried to do Facebook posts. Guys, I bought a smart car. Well, that was actually after, but I've done everything. I bought a smart car and wrapped it. Like I've tried swag, you name it, business cards, BNI. I tried all this stuff. I'm like, how do I consistently get flat fee deals? And guys, if you don't have, I heard this and I really like this, and it's true, is if you have a business and you don't know where your next sale is coming from, you don't have a business. Okay. If you have an agency right now and you don't know where your next sale or your next deal is coming from, you do not have a business. And that's how I was. It was just random. I would post on Facebook, somebody would hit me up. I'd get a friend, a referral. Somebody would call me and say, hey, I heard you do this, but I couldn't predictably come up with results. So here's what happened. And this is where this key to this whole process, which is sending results in advance. Basically, we're going to copy the strategy that Costco uses. This literally came about by this story I'm about to share. Okay. It was by complete accident. And let me admit, somebody just tried to jump in. Okay. So here's what happened. COVID just started, right? And right off the bat, I lost 2 clients. I lost one up in Seattle because they got smoked. I know they got hit hard up in Washington. I can't remember who was on there. They got hit really hard. I had a plumbing client called me immediately, like within 2 days, canceled. And I'm like, there's a contract. And they tried to back charge. I'm like, dude, this is going to get bad. This is going to get bad. So I was already kind of in this like negative mood. Fast forward to April. Okay. This is where this whole thing got discovered. I knew flat fee was the game, but I didn't know how to do it consistently. So I had this site. I'm going to show you the site so you guys can believe me. Hang tight. Let me show you this site real quick. Hold up. Okay, let me share my screen. Boom. Okay, here's the site. Get ready for it. Look at that beauty. Isn't that a sexy looking thing right there? Asheville concrete. By the way, Asheville concrete is one of my favorite niches. It meets all the criteria. You guys need to go in that niche. It's amazing. I made a lot of money in that niche. So I had this site right here, Asheville concrete, right? And we tried something unique on this. Okay, this was in April. Is I had heard in one of my other groups about this idea of, you know, sending some leads in advance. I don't think that's anything new. Like, hey, let's send them some to try out for free. But then somebody had mentioned, like, what if you set up an ad and you generated leads and you sent those to the business owner and you were able to get them more leads and close. It was like this really foggy idea. But I'm like, you know what? Let's try it. It's COVID. I'm up in my office. Like after the kids go to sleep, I'm up here anyway, and I'm just trying to make things happen. So this is what happened. We decided to try it. We had a couple leads. This is one of those sites that was producing a couple a week, but not a lot, right? So we took the couple leads, we called a business owner, gave them like a basic pitch, said, hey, we're going to give you a couple leads and we're looking for a partner. Okay, very basic pitch. Okay, sounds good. And the guy's name was Alex, by the way. Send him the leads. Then we went into Google. And by the way, I had zero idea 2 years ago how to do Google Ads. Zero, like not anything. I didn't even know how to log in. I didn't know what an MCC account was. I didn't know about Express. I didn't know about all this stuff. Fast forward to today, I've spent over $1 million in ads, but I'll wait on that. So I turn on an ad and we sent this guy like 5 leads. Okay. So we call him within like a week. And again, this is 2 years ago, but within a week, we sent this guy 5 leads and we schedule the appointment. It's set for 7 a.m. Okay. 7 a.m. And I think it was like a Tuesday or Wednesday. I could pull up the contract. I wake up and I'm late. And by the way, I have bad allergies. So I remember this like yesterday. I had a roll of toilet paper right here. I went and blew my nose. And I know this because in my call, I had to leave like 2 or 3 times to go blow my nose. It was terrible. And I remember waking up, I was already pissed off. The world's crumbling. Like I'm getting cancellations from my SEO clients and we just, whatever. I'm like, and I was kind of pissed off. I'm like, why did I schedule this at 7 a.m.? I had no momentum. I was just like, so I walk up here to my office. I'm barely on time. And this is the best part is I had sent a Zoom link and the guy, instead of being at his computer, he's at the gas station. Okay. He just filled up gas and he's on his phone, which by the way, it pisses me off when people are on their phone because they're not paying attention. I can see, it's like, I don't want to see up your nose hole. I don't care. I don't want you to buy dog food while we're talking, any of that. This guy's literally sitting, I'm looking up his nose and he's at a gas station. The internet's crappy. I'm like, dude, this is terrible. What am I doing? I get on and I just go through the basic pitch. I'm like, how'd the leads go? He's like, yeah, we quoted them. Luckily he had followed up and I think he might've even closed one. And here's what happened is in 20 minutes, and I was just trying to get off the call by this point. Think that I got to mute somebody. Think that. Okay. At this point, I was literally just trying to get off the call. I'm like, I'm not getting this deal. I go through it. 20 minutes later, I'm like, well, I better go for the close. I go for the close and I'm like, hey, it's $1,000 a month and I want a 6-month contract. And I wait. And the guy's like, okay. And he pulls out his wallet and he gives me the card. And I'm like, whoa. And I sit up and I'm like, okay. And I was like almost shocked. In fact, I was shocked. And I started babbling because I'm like, oh, I haven't done this in a while. And especially not like this. I get the deal. And I've realized in that moment, I'm like, what just happened? I did everything wrong. I barely made it on time for the call. He's at a gas station. His internet sucks. It was a 20-minute presentation. I'm blowing my nose. I did everything wrong on the sales call. And it was a 20-minute close with a 6-month contract for $1,000 a month. And I'm like, what the hell just happened? Like, it almost sounded like someone was setting me up. And so I'm like, I got to figure out what I just did. And I got to repeat that. And so I started like dissecting. I'm like, okay. And I started talking to this guy, I'm like, Alex, and I became good enough friends with him. I'm like, why did you go for this, man? Like, I'm going to be honest. Why did you go for this? And he basically is like, well, dude, I already knew like you could produce leads. And he went through all these reasons. And I'm like, that's the secret. I have to use that and go over and over. I'm going to use that and I'm going to master that process. And that was my game. From that moment forward, I was like, I'm going to send leads up front. But for these sites that are sporadically producing your Asheville concretes, you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn on an ad and supplement, because by sending this guy 3 to 5 leads, that was the easiest close of my life. And I just made $6,000 on a contract. And so guys, that is the moment right there. Let me unshare this for a second. That is the very moment where I'm like, that's it. This is the strategy. Now, at that point, it was very rudimentary. I didn't have it refined like I do now, but that was like April, mid-April. From that moment forward, that's when I became obsessed with this process. Leads in advance. And I'm going to tell you that exactly what those steps are, but it's leads in advance. And then you move them to a close. So this is the 6 steps. Okay. And if you guys want to take a pencil, these are the exact steps. I will probably post these later, but these are the steps that I follow every single time that I close a deal. Okay. This is it. Okay. So step 1 is you either choose the site that you want to sell or you pick a niche. And by the way, I recommend niches like concrete. I recommend niches like tree service. I recommend niches like spray foam insulation, artificial grass, high ticket, relatively high, roughly medium, like they're not low volume, but they're not high. It's not like towing. And I go after cities that no one's looking at. So I've made $1,000 a month in a 30,000 population. So step 1 is choose your project or pick your niche and city. What I will tell you is be careful. Don't just go, oh, tree service and pick a spot on the map. Make sure that there's volume. Okay. And we can get into more details on that. But that's step 1. Step 2, this is another epiphany I had. Build a list of people that are already buying. Okay. So when I used to sell door to door home security systems, what I used to do is I was selling home security, this company called Vivint. It's an orange sign. And I started realizing same exact thing. I accidentally knocked on this guy's door that had ADT, the blue sign. And I found out he's paying $50 a month, which is what I was charging. And I realized like all I had to do was convince him, hey, you can go to my system and you can have an app on your smartphone. It's the same price. I'll give you some more equipment. You just got to sign a contract, 20-minute sale. Versus going to a house with no security. I had to sell them, hey, security is a good idea. It's better than your dog. It's better than your gun. Smith & Wesson isn't your only protection, all that stuff. So I realized if I sold to people that were already sold on leads or security systems, it's much easier. So number 2 is sell to people who are already buying. Who is that for you guys or for all of us? People paying for Google Ads, people paying for Home Advisor, people paying for Angie's List, people paying for anything that they're paying for. If none of those work out, I go to Marketplace, I go to Craigslist. Now those people aren't paying, but they're at least setting up ads. They're hungry for business, right? They want more leads. And primarily if they're paying for it, that's your best. So you pick the niche of the project if you already have a site, then you build your list. Step 3, this is the ad section. Now here's a little hack. Go to ads, go type in Google AdWords and type in Google AdWords Express. Okay. Now, a lot of people like to shit on AdWords Express, excuse my language if you have kids in the room, but the reason I use AdWords Express because I don't love the technical side of this. I like the sales side of this. So I did it because I wanted speed. I wanted speed. And if you watch any of my interviews, I always wear a hoodie that says money loves speed. I'm all about speed. So I recommend using AdWords Express. It makes it really easy. It is going to cost you a little bit more per lead, per acquisition. However, the time it's going to save you, because a lot of people, if I told them, hey, go learn AdWords expert mode, the first thing they do is go, oh, I need to go watch a course on Udemy and I need to go on YouTube. Nope. Do you know what I did? I went to AdWords Express and I might have watched a YouTube video and I set up an ad. Okay. Boom. Set up an ad. That's it. Do not set the budget for more than $20 a day. Okay. Do not set. Now here's why. If you're going to charge $1,000 a month, right? At the minimum, you got to realize if you're doing a $20 a day budget, then that's going to be $600 of your $1,000. It's going to leave you with a profit, but only $400. If you go above that, now you're going to be getting too thin on the margin. So if they always come up with like a recommended budget. I either choose that or $20 a day, whichever is less. Okay. So AdWords Express, just go YouTube AdWords Express. Very simple. Okay. Use the main keywords, set the location boundaries, not too far from wherever, and $20 or less. Okay. Boom. That's step 3. Step 4, call up a business owner on your list. And literally, this is the conversation. Say something to the effect of, and be straight to the point. Do not, this is what I'll tell you not to do. Do not call and say, hey, this is Nick with Evergreen. I'm here to sell you some leads. Okay. You're going to get your ass hung up on. Or if you think it's better to say, hey, this is Nick with Evergreen. Are you guys looking for more business? Nope. Don't say this is whoever with Evergreen or whatever your company name is. Just get to the point. I'm going to use James for an example. If I'm calling James, how's it going, man? This is Nick. I got a job over on, whatever, 123 Circle. Do you guys cover that area? Yeah. Okay, cool. Hey, and that's how I start it. And I go right into it. And I basically say this: I want to give you 3 to 4 leads for free. In exchange, I want to talk to you on the phone in a couple days. The reason I'm calling you is because you're paying for Google Ads, you're paying for HomeAdvisor, you're paying for Yelp, whatever. And so I already have the leads, I already have the jobs, you're already spending money. I want to work something out. Does that sound like a good deal? That's my whole pitch. Now it's a little bit more refined, but that's the skeleton of it. That's the bones of it. That's it. You get somebody to agree to take a couple leads for free. Make sure that you ask them, hey, if I send you these free leads, Mr. Business Owner, are you going to show up on Wednesday? Because if you just want free leads, tell me now, I'll give you free leads, but I don't want you to waste my time on Wednesday. I'm building an empire here. Like, just let them know, like, I'm building a business here. Just like, I'm a big boy. You can tell me now. Do that pullback. Make sure that they're following you. That's step 4. Get somebody on the hook. Step 5, send them 3 to 5 free leads. Okay. Now I'm going to give you a tip. Do a live transfer. If you think you're going to do a whisper message and be lazy and just boom, 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 guys, that doesn't work. You're going to end up sending 20 leads and they're going to get a hold of 1. And then you're going to show up at your Zoom call and they're going to say, well, I need to talk to my spouse. I need to go and pray. I need to do this. It's like, dude, I'm all about praying, baby. Let's pray right now. Right. But come on, man, you guys have to live transfer these, because think about it like this. If you're at Costco and if you are selling a product, you are selling cookies, wouldn't you want to give samples of cookies to the people who are already in the market for cookies, that are buying Chips Ahoy, Mrs. Fields? Wouldn't that be better? Number 1. And number 2, imagine if you could literally say, hey, I'll give you a sample, but you got to open your mouth, and you dropped it in. Live transfer your leads. Once you do that, you set a Zoom call. And the last step is you get on, make sure it's on Zoom or a video chat, get on the Zoom call, go through everything, paint the picture of what you want to do. Do not do anything less than $1,000 and sell the deal. That's with a site or without a site. Now, if you're like, well, how do you do it without a site? Throw up a 1-page website for free on a .weebly, a .wix, a .whatever. Get a tracking number that's going to cost you a couple bucks. You don't have to build a website until after you sign the deal. If you have a current site that's producing, just run the ads to that. Okay. So literally, guys, that is the 6 steps. Now, of course, there's some intricacies, there's some scripts and all that stuff. That is my outline. On Friday, this past Friday, this is what I love about this. I'm doing this. I'm making money from this. This isn't like I'm done. Friday, I got a deal. It was 2 websites. It was spray foam insulation, 2 sites for $3,000 a month, 6-month contract. Guess what process I used? This one right here. List. I chose the niche, created the list, set up the ad, sent the leads. They want 2 locations. Absolutely. Got the deal, got the contract. We're good to go. Okay. So that's exactly what the process is. Okay. So at the end, which we're wrapping up here, at the end, if anyone has any like follow-up questions with that process, I'm happy to answer them. But guys, do not overthink it. A lot of you guys are going to be like, but what about this? What about this? Just go and do. When I did this 2 years ago, I did not know how to do ads. I did not know us. I didn't have a script to call. I didn't know how to close after all this is said. I was just doing. And that year we did just over $1 million. Okay. So there's a guy in the group, and I'm going to give you some names that you guys can search out. There's an interview with a guy named Patrick Grelland. Okay. This is a guy that's been in another program for about, I think, almost 2 years. Go watch the interview. I always name my interviews something from one of my favorite songs, because I love rap. So I think that interview is called Hustler Music. If you want to search it, and music spelled M-U-S-I-K. Patrick, when we first talked in January, he was at about $8,500 a month. Maybe it's $7,500 if I can't remember. And watch the interview. He increased doing this strategy. He's doing $18,000 per month in 30 days. Go watch the interview. Okay. So that's kind of like a case study. If you guys wanted to go further, okay, is this guy full of it? That's not even one of the screenshots I showed you guys. Some of you guys might be thinking though, and I know I thought some of these things, some of you guys are like, well, I've never run ads. Great. I hadn't either. Go set them up. You'll be surprised. Leads will come in. Now there's some refinement and all that stuff. The guy I mentioned at the first, Kareem, he was the exact same way. He's like, dude, I don't know how to run ads. He's like, whatever, dude, just go do it. And now he's at $5,000 a month. Okay. Some of you guys might be thinking also like, I don't have money to spend on ads. Guys, if you do this right, check this out. You spend $200, $300 on ads, $400. I don't care what it is. When you sell the deal, guess what you do? You charge the business owner a startup fee. Crazy, right? Hey, $299 for a startup fee, it's $1,000 a month. Guess how much money it costs you to acquire that client? $0. Okay. Don't worry about it. There's a guy named Elvis, the one that closed a $5,400 a month deal. Dude, we had to scrape pennies together to get him into my stuff. And he was down in the dumps. He'd been in another program for like 3-4 years. And he's got like 20K of debt. And he went and he spent the money on ads. I'm like, trust me, go watch his interview. Just got a $5,400 a month deal. His ad cost is not a problem anymore because he got that deal. Okay. So anyway, and then lastly, because I'm seeing some people that are, I know, like UK, Canada, you're probably like, well, this works in the US, but what about my country? Guys, go watch my interview with Brian McSpadden. Okay. It's Spaden or Spaden. I can't remember. He's in Ireland. We do the interview in Ireland. The dude sounds like Conor McGregor. Okay. Like, you guys have seen that video when he's like, well, I won't say that. You know the line I'm talking about when that guy's talking behind him. He sounds like Conor McGregor. In the interview, we talk about he signs a deal from Ireland in Texas for a concrete deal for $2,000 a month. Okay. You do not have to be in the US. Okay. And I'm like, just go and check it. So the bottom line is this, guys. You guys do, like, the only way to scale this business, the only way to do this business is through flat fee. And the only way to do flat fee deals, unless you want to wait for your sites to rank, is by sending results in advance and coupling it with paid ads. Now, if you have a site that's producing like crazy, you can skip the ad step, do the other 5 and follow that to a T, and it will get you there. Okay. Last 2 really quick. Secret number 2, you don't need previous sales experience. I'll go over this really briefly. Go look at any of the case studies in the group. Just type in interview, just scroll and go watch those people. There's a specific one. I remember when he and I talked, his name is David Lee. And when he and I talked, it's like, dude, I'm not an overly like extrovert. I don't like that. I like the tech. I'm like, great. You don't need sales experience. And when I first started this stuff, everyone's like, oh, you're a sales guy. Go watch my interviews. 9 out of 10 of the people that are in there have never had any sales experience at all. Go watch the one with David. I think the one with David, I can't remember what it's called. It was on a Saturday night. I can tag you guys in it. And dude, this guy closed the deal. He'd been in 18 months in another program. Within the first month, he got a deal for $2,700 a month. And he didn't have to set up ads because it was an existing site, all cash. And this guy is not a sales guy. He admits it. He tells you it's just not his style. All cash. Okay. So you don't need that. Linda, the one that I told you closed 7 or 8 deals, go watch her interview. She's like, I hate sales. Her husband actually bought her a program on Rank and Rent and said, here, go do it. And she was pissed. And she's like, I'm not doing that. And he's like, no, no, no. And he's a sales guy. She says she hates sales. I still don't believe her. Go watch the interview. I keep asking her, I'm like, wait, you hate sales? You did 8 this month. She hates sales. She doesn't like it. It makes her uncomfortable. 8 deals. You do not need previous sales experience because let me tell you why. The leads, when you send them up front, it does the selling for you. Okay. And then the last secret is, as we talked about, and they kind of run together a bit, is you don't need to wait for your sites to rank. Going back to what we talked about with secret number 1, you don't need them to. You can pre-sell. You can take sites that are producing sporadically. You can take sites that are producing a lot of consistent leads. Any of the above. You could be someone that's never done a site. You could be on this and you're like, hey, I think this model's genius. I don't even know where to start. Good. This morning, I got somebody that wanted to get into my stuff, into my program. Guys never build a site. Never build a site. I'm like, go get the deal. The people that make the most money in this business are the ones that sell it, not the ones that are the most nerdy technical. Now, if you're nerdy and technical, great. You're going to have some awesome SEO. Okay. And the other beautiful part is you don't have to have sales experience. Now, if you get good at sales, is it going to hurt you? Absolutely not. Okay. And there's tons and tons of examples. There's a guy named Jared Bell that just barely closed the deal, and he's been working his freaking butt off for that deal. And he just go look him up, Jared Bell, and type in pre-sell. In fact, I'll show you that one as we're wrapping up here. Let me show you this. Look at this. Okay. I don't know if I showed you before. This is the Hustler music one. This is Patrick, by the way. So let me go like this. Let me type in Jared Bell. Right here. Boom. March 4th. Closed my first 1-pager. That means he did not have a site at $250 a week for 3 months and renegotiate after that. So there are countless examples. In fact, what you guys ought to do is just go in here and type in pre-sell or pre-sold into the group. And you're going to see like Josh got a pre-sell. This other Josh Sanchez got a pre-sell. I showed you guys Reem. Joe Glenn, guys, there's so many people. You do not have to wait. And if you guys are, hold on one second. All right. Can you guys see my screen, by the way? Okay. Just checking. Cause it's okay. Give me 1 second here. All right. Yeah, guys, I used to do the same thing. Don't wait to pre-sell. I mean, if you're somebody that's so busy and you're paying somebody to build sites, that's fine. But why would you wait for your sites to rank? I think I said, don't pre-sell, do pre-sell. Don't wait for your sites to rank. Why wait 3 to 6 months when you could literally get the deal today, use their money to build it and fund it and make a profit on an asset you own? Okay. If you guys think about it in terms of real estate, think about how wild that is, guys. Imagine that you're a real estate investor or you're building spec homes and you literally go and find renters first. You say, hey, Mr. Renter, Mrs. Renter, here's a contract. I'm going to have you rent my place. Oh, there's a catch. There's no house. And we're actually going to use your money to build the house and I'm going to own it. Like, how backwards does that sound? You're building your entire portfolio with their money. And but that's what we're doing when you're pre-selling or when you're taking these sites. So that's the whole point of that. So guys, I'm going to get into I'm going to answer a couple questions here in just a moment. But kind of to wrap up, this is what I want to say. It is like, what's next? What do you do? So there's a couple things you can do from here. I'm a big believer, and I try to shoot people straight because I said at the beginning, like a lot of people, when you ask them why they're doing programs, it's like, oh, I'm a good person. I like to help people. I'm the one that will tell you the shallow answer if I feel it. Okay. But I'll tell you this is basically like from here, this is what I would do if I'm in your shoes. There's basically 2 things you could do. Travis just entered. He's about an hour late, but it's okay. It's added him. So there's 2 things you can do. There's 2 types of people. Okay. Let me make sure everyone's on mute real quick. Okay, cool. So there's basically 2 things at this point that you could do from here. Is number 1, if you're not completely sold on this model, you got to do some soul searching, because I have tried a lot of stuff, guys. And I've interviewed a lot of people. Go watch any of these interviews, and all of them did the same thing. They bought a program. They liked it. It sounded like the business model, and they went and chased shiny stuff. And guess what happened? All of us came back here. We all came back to this exact same business model. So number one, if you're not sold on the business model, you got to go get sold. And maybe for some of you guys, you got to go try drop shipping. Be my guest. Go try e-com. Go try network marketing or crypto or NFTs and this and that. Go try it and then hit me up, because you will end up back. And this is the guy, I don't sell a program on how to do rank and rent. I don't like, you go figure that out. Getting the lead is the easy part. Okay. So but anyway, basically there's two different things that you could do from here. Number one is, and this is why I wanted to do this like as a welcome, is you just joined the group, or maybe you joined a few weeks ago, a few days ago, is you're going to see a lot of good stuff. There's going to be interviews. I have a weekly call every single Wednesday at 4:30 p.m. MST. I don't care where I'm at in the world. By the way, if you saw in the post, I'm going to be in Mexico this Wednesday, Africa the next Wednesday. I don't care where I'm at. I'm going to be on. Okay. You will see me 4:30 p.m. MST. There's a lot of good stuff. So what you could do is, if you're the DIY, if you're the person that goes to Lowe's and fixes your own, like makes your own cubbies in your laundry room, maybe that's you. I don't know. You can go and scour the group. There's some damn good stuff in that group. You could go scour that thing and piece this thing together. Okay. By the way, I don't carrot anything. I don't say, oh yeah, I'm giving you partial truth or half truth. I try to just share openly, because my philosophy is give everything away and continue to reinvent, continue to level yourself up, and then share that and keep sharing it and keep sharing it. So if you guys want, you can go scour the group, you can piece it together, and there's some really, really good stuff. All of the people that I have shown you in this video, in like the case studies that are actually implementing these steps, from Linda to Patrick, to Elvis, to Eugene, all of those, I specifically made a point. Those are all people that went the other route, and those guys are in my flat fee mastery program. Okay. And I'm not going to talk a lot about that program, because that's not what this is about. This is a welcome video. It's by application only. And I will, at the end, I'll drop a link if anyone wants to apply. It's by application only. Essentially what that is it's a completely separate group, and it's the scripts, it's the ad copy, it's the keywords, it's the everything that I did to go from 2019 to here without we did an overview here, and you can jot down the steps and go piece it together. That is, here's an open book. Go ahead and grab it. That is by application only. The reason I'm doing it by application only is because I want to be different, number one, and I don't want to just whore myself out and say, yeah, if you got money, I'll take it. I won't take it. It's got to be a good fit. The way that my group grows, that paid group, is if people get in there, they have to get a deal. Because if they get a deal, then they talk. And if they talk, then I get more students, and it just keeps snowballing. So I've been very strategic. In the last 6 weeks, I've had 2 people that have literally offered me their money, and it just wasn't a good fit. Didn't feel like a good fit. And I told them it's not a good fit. Okay. Because I don't want to just take money. I want to take good money of people that are going to get deals, and then I'm going to be able to use them as a case study. So there is that option. That would be the next, like, if you're somebody who's like, hey, and this is what I realized, by the way, and I did both. In the beginning, I was like trying to scour everything together and hit people up and DM and the whole thing. And then I had this call with this guy. This is actually pretty recently. And this guy, I jumped on a call with him, and he was actually interested, by the way, in my program and in flat fee mastery. And he said something right off the bat. He's like, hey, I'm going to be honest with you, man. He's like, I am on this call. He's like, he kept saying, I can't waste time. I don't have time. And I'm like, dude, none of us have time. What are you talking about? And we get on the call, and the guy's like, dude, I have stage 4 cancer. And I think it was, shit, dude, it's the one that your shit passes through. I'm not laughing about it, but it's what's it called? When you have colon cancer. Sorry, colon. So he had colon cancer, and I'm laughing because I said shit. And anyway, not laughing at that. And I'm like, dude, I didn't even know what to say. I mean, he's like, I have stage 4. And he's like, I don't know if he's like, I'm living in 90 days periods. And we got done with the call, dude. I was like shook. I'm like, dude, holy cow. And this guy's young. He's like a little bit older than me. And we get off the call and he messaged me, and this is what he said. And I've learned more from that guy probably in this year than anybody. He said, this is the one that stood out to me. And you guys remember this. He said, thanks for your time today, blah, 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 blah. He said, life is short, go buy time. Life is short, go buy time. And so I'm like, what are the things that I'm doing right now that I could speed up by either putting people in place to speed them up, buying people's experience, knowledge, because I started thinking about it. And like, when you start talking to people like that and you're like, dude, you put yourself in those shoes, and you're like, holy crap, that would, like, imagine, and all this stuff. So my challenge to everybody, I did that call. And then that night I went on to the live about it. As I basically was like, hey, what are the things in your business right now that you guys should speed up? What are the things that you're being prideful about, that you're being hard-headed, that you're trying to learn on your own because you just want to say I did it myself or whatever, that you could go and speed up? And so, like, for example, right now in my business, I'm struggling with systems. I'm trying to make this business. If you guys haven't read this book, it's awesome. I'm trying to scale this thing up so I can remove myself from the business. And so what I decided to do is, I'm like, who's the best like systems guy I know? And there's a guy I know that has this string of franchises, this tanning salons. And the crazy part about it is he's black, which is hilarious. So he has all these tanning salons and he's black. He's never been in a tanning bed, which he thinks is ironic. I think it's funny too. And he's like the best systems guy. I've been out with this guy to lunch stuff. He doesn't even have a phone call. He's running like, he's probably going to be $100 million soon. And so I'm like, how do I go? And I'm not going to be able to hit him up for lunch. Like, he's busy. So the game plan is very simple. Is like, okay, I'm going to hit him up, and this is what I'm going to do. I haven't even done this yet. I'll keep you guys posted. I'm going to hit him up and say, hey man, I'm coming to Dallas and I'm going to wire you $10,000 today. Tell me the account number. I want to shadow you for 1 week. You don't have to say a word to me. I just want to follow you around for 1 week. And you know what's going to happen? He's going to say yes, because he's not stupid. And he's going to give me, I'm literally probably going to get one-on-one coaching from this guy. It's going to be worth $100 million in a couple of years for $10,000. And some of you guys are like, that's crazy. It's nothing compared to what I'm going to learn if I pick up 1 or 2 nuggets. So anyway, the point of the story is, like, life is short, go buy time. Whatever that translates, go hire people to do stuff that you shouldn't be doing. Go, you know, if it's something, a skill you need to learn, go find someone that's already done it, pay them to teach you. That's the only thing. You can go make the money. I can make the 10 grand back, but I can't get back the year it's going to take me to master that skill set. So anyway, I'm going to open this up really quick. I'm going to review lastly those 6 steps, and I'm going to open this up if anyone has questions. I see a couple real quick. The 6 steps in recap. Number 1 is take an existing site, take a niche. And by the way, also, I'm going to drop the link if anyone wants to, for the Flat Fee Mastery thing. In fact, I'll put it in the chat right now before I forget. And then I'll go over those 6 steps. This is specifically for this. I'll put it in the chat, hang tight, and then I'll answer these questions. Okay, so step number 1, take an existing project, if you have one, that's getting sporadic leads or consistent leads. Number 1. Okay, if you don't have one, choose concrete, tree service, duct cleaning, spray foam installation, artificial grass. Those are the ones I make all my money in. Just don't go into a city just for the heck of it. Do your research. Okay, number 1. Number 2, build a list. Target people that are spending money on Google Ads, Home Advisor, anything that's paid, anything that indicates they want to grow and they're currently paying for. That's step number 2. Step number 3, set up Google AdWords Express, no more than $20 per day with a tight radius. Don't go like 50 miles outside of your place. Just go do 3 headlines, pop in your keywords, and push go. Okay. Remember, that's going to be, you're going to charge that to the business owner. So you guys don't have to worry. It's going to get charged to the business owner. Don't be like all cheap about spending the money on ads. That's number 3. Number 4, set the hook. Okay. Call a business owner, explain the deal, be straight with them. Don't be one of those weird people that's like, just be straight with them, man. Hey, I saw you're paying for ads. I have jobs. Can I send them to you and we can talk? Dude, that sounds so real to me. I love that. But hey, this is Nick and I got leads and blah, 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 blah. Make it make sense to them. Make it make sense. Hey, I'm giving you leads, but I'm doing it because I want to talk, not just because I'm a good guy, right? Why am I doing this free group? It's because eventually all you guys are going to be in one of my programs, whether it's Flat Fee Mastery or I have another one or whatever. Eventually that's what happens. Right now, guys, this is what's crazy. These steps, this is what's gangster level. Do you know how I built Flat Fee Mastery? I built it with these 6 steps. Literally, I took these 6 steps. I chose a niche. Okay. I'm really damn good at selling flat fee lead gen. Boom. That's my niche. Then I built my list. Okay. Who are people who have already in the space, have already bought programs? Guess who's in this group? You guys. Okay. If you haven't bought a program, you're still interested in the subject matter, right? Number 3, I have started running paid ads. Some of you guys joined by a paid ad. In the beginning, though, I didn't even have to do that. I just went and DM people, join my group, whatever, blah, 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 blah. Step 4, I didn't really have to do this one, but I did start teasing. I'm like, hey, I'm going to start doing a paid group. And when I started this, I didn't know what it was going to be. Then I sent the leads. Guys, my free content, my coaching call, make no mistake. When I get on and do a free coaching call, it's value. I'm giving free leads. I want you guys to be like, yo, his free stuff is so good. Imagine what his paid stuff is like. Free. I'm giving free content. That's my free leads. And then step 6 is, at this point, we've had a lot more than you'd think have joined and signed up for and gotten accepted into the program. And you've seen a bunch of the case studies. So I've literally taken this process. It's crazy. And I've told everyone, and I've built this program around this process and built my agency around it. So once you set the hook, then you send the leads. My recommendation, no more than 5, send 3 to 5. And also there's a trick. If you send any amount of leads and they close one, I don't care if you send 1. If you send 1 and they close it, go pitch them. They don't need any more. If you send 3 and they close 1, go pitch it. But if you send 3 or 5 and they don't close 1, you can still get the deal. But as soon as they get a deal, get on the Zoom call. But you'll just kind of have to feel when that time is right to pitch them. And then obviously get on the phone, close the deal, and get the card. Be straight with them. Don't oversell it. I always like to promise, like I don't promise anything, but I say, hey, my goal is to get you 12 to 15 leads. That's it. And I make the numbers make sense on 12 to 15 leads. And then guess what happens? I get them 22, 25. And you know what they want to do? They want to get another site. They want to expand this other area and this other area. Guys, I have a client I started with they started at 3 sites. That client last year paid me between $30,000 and $40,000 per month. One client. They kept adding and adding. And then meanwhile, they were buying companies, and they buy a company like, hey, we need leads for this company. Buy a company. Go look in the group. I posted a picture of one of my checks, like 40K, almost 500K from one company. Started with a $3,000 deal because I over delivered. Okay. And I didn't oversell the deal. Okay. Let me go into a couple questions really quick. I did post a link if anyone's wants to apply for that, just so that we've got that. It's https://form.jotform.com. And then it's nickjwd/FFM for Flat Fee Mastery. It's in the chat. Okay. So, Basel, I don't know if I'm saying that right. I probably messed that up, but just came on. Can we get a recording after? Yes, I am actually going to use this training for anyone that joins the group, and I'm going to tag them this so they can go and check this out. Kind of because this is nice because now you guys have an understanding of like everything I talk about, all my lives, everything leads back to those 6 steps. Like that's it. Everything. Like I do drink my own Kool-Aid, but guys, I just showed you how I use the same process to build a program called Flat Fee Mastery. That was not a program 6 months ago. Okay. What would you say is the cons of pay-per-lead? Everything. Okay. Let me tell you this. This is what happens. And that's a good question because I didn't think this. So in your head, pay-per-lead sounds great, right? Because you're like, well, I have no ceiling, right? Wrong. Here's what happens. You got it's easy to get them to agree to the pay-per-lead deal, but there is a threshold. Every business owner, I don't care who it is, in their head, there's a threshold. So let's use $100 a lead, for example. You're going to have a business owner and they're going to say, yeah, send them to me. Send me as many as you can, man. Send them. And they mean it, but they don't realize what's going to happen. And you're going to send them 15 leads, $1,500. And guess what's going to happen? You're going to be over there pounding away on backlinks and content and trying to rank it. Cause in your head, you're like, dude, if I get 50 leads, man, I'm going 5K. The first month you send an invoice for 5K because you get to page 1 or your GMB hits or whatever. That person will come to you, you'll send them the invoice, and they'll get their red pen out and they'll start scratching away. This one was outside of service area. This one was too small of a job. This guy didn't answer, even though they didn't answer the call. This one, blah, 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 blah. And guess what? You know what you're going to end up getting for that deal? You're going to end up getting $1,500. Okay. That first month, you might settle at $2,500. It's going to ruin your relationship. They're going to be tight ass on all the leads. And now they're going to say, well, I only do minimums. I have a $2,000 minimum. You're like, bro, you didn't have a $2,000 minimum last month, but now they're entitled. I hate pay per lead because of that. And the other con is because you want to know what winter's like and without living in Canada, go do pay per lead. Okay. That's a winter. That's when you're like, Christmas is coming up and you're like, dude, a couple months ago, I was booking trips and now I'm like tightening the belt trying to get through Christmas. There's no confidence to hire people, to get a place like an office, to do anything because your income's fluctuating. With flat fee, you're like, hey, it's $1,000 a month. I'm spending $600 on ads, $100 on SEO with my content and everything. I'm making $300 net profit every single month. All I got to do is keep them happy. That's why. All right, Hiram, I'm dying to finish this, but I have to leave right now. Is there any way? Yes, Hiram, you're not going to see this anyway, so it's fine, but that will be posted. Redme says, how much did you spend on ads for this site? What kind of Google ad was that? Google AdWords Express, which I'm sure you noticed. And I know that I spent less than $20 a day because I never spend more than $20 a day. Unless if I get a deal for $2K per month, then I'll spend double that, right? Because now I have more to play with. So if you get a deal for $2K, you can spend up to $40 a day. And now you're making $800 on profit on the 2K deal. So on a $1,000 deal, the most I'll spend is $20 a day. Okay, Chris says, do you have rough outlines of scripts we can use as starting points and personalized for each sales stage and follow up? Yeah, so this is, what I tell you is this is just the basic outline of my scripts, especially on like my prospecting script, is 4 steps. Who you are, what you're doing, what's in it for them, the deal, what's in it for them, what's in it for you, in transition. Okay. Hey, I'm Nick, whatever this is. And you don't want to do them in that order, because I don't like to call and say, hey, I'm Nick, but they got to know who you are. They got to know why you're calling. Give them a reason. Hey, I'm calling because I got a job. Okay. Tell them the deal. Hey, I'm going to give you 3 free leads. You're going to get on the phone with me, and transition. Okay. That's it. Go build your script. Now, if you want, like in the Flat Fee Mastery, that's where we give like literally my exact script and everything like that. But guys, it's not about the script. That script does work. I have a video in this group, the free group, and go look it up. It's like, I think it's called 44 Minutes of Gold. I trained my setter, okay, for 44 minutes. She never had a sales job. I gave her my script. I said, here it is, 44 minutes of training. She set 10 appointments in the first week and we closed 3 of them. Those are on existing sites that we already had that we were trying to sell. So, but the point is don't overthink it. You just got to go do. Okay. Nick, what things do you follow when selecting the city? I just make sure that there's volume. So I use any tool that you want to use. I make sure that there's volume. I make sure that people are searching for it. I don't care about population. I make sure there's volume, and I make sure that there's the cost per click. The cost per click is less than $5. That's a key. If it's more than $5, it's going to be really hard for you to get enough leads for $20 a day. But if you can find anything less than $5 per click, let's say concrete Minneapolis, which won't be the case, but just an example, and concrete Minneapolis is less than $5. Awesome. Now go make sure that if you go do SEO, you're not going against some behemoths. Okay. That's why I like these smaller cities, because you're not going against as much competition. Okay. Molly says, if a prospect is already running ads, why would they pay more for you to run ads? Also, what if they already have a website? Okay. So first of all, if a prospect's already running ads, why would they pay more for you to run ads? Because here's the thing, Molly, is just because they're paying for ads doesn't mean they're getting leads. You're selling leads. they're paying for ads, and you know what? They're actually paying for clicks, right? Now, in the case of HomeAdvisor, I don't need to tell you why those are shit, right? Those are garbage. They're literally pimping those things out. Boom, 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 boom. And they're making $200 a lead. So we know that we're better than HomeAdvisor. That's number one. But if they're paying for Google ads, there's no guarantee on anything other than, hey, we're going to charge your card for clicks. That's why. The other thing is like, I don't necessarily, you don't have to tell them you're paying for ads. If they ask, I'm going to tell them. But this is what I usually say is I say, hey, just so you know, in the beginning, it's going to be a little bit inconsistent because I'm going to use paid ads to supplement this while I rank. But make no mistake, Mr. Business Owner, we're going to get this to page one. That's how you're going to get the majority of your business. So it's not, this is what I've learned in sales. If it's not a big deal to you, it's not a big deal to them. But that question doesn't come up because it's not a big deal to me. I never get that question, but that's why. You're selling leads, they're paying for ads. Totally different, totally different. Okay. Finally, what's the cost of FFM? Can you, yeah. So by the way, on FFM, I have raised the price. So when we initially launched it, there was no case studies. It was me. And I said, and actually there was no program. When we initially launched it, I said, hey guys, there's no program. And you just have to trust your gut on this. And we did a call and I said, if you guys want to, and they had to go through an application. It was a pain in the butt. I didn't think anyone would jump on. I had like 25 people that jumped on and I gave a significant discount because there was no proof. It was them trusting me. So I gave a discount and we've raised it twice since then. So for the sake of I'm recording this, I'm not going to share the price because it's going to change, but I continue to raise it. And guys, I would tell you guys, raise your prices. Here's why. If you raise your price and you charge more money, just like I keep charging more for my program, when you charge money and it stings for the business owner, they're going to treat the leads better. They're going to say, hey, I'm spending $2,000 a month on my leads. Hell yeah, I'm going to go run these leads. I'm going to answer the phone. I'm going to get my $2,000 back. And because they treat the leads better, they close jobs. And because they close jobs, your leads look good. And because your leads look good, they start talking to their friends and you get more clients. They're happy. You're happy. Your business grows. If you think you're doing business owners a favor by giving them a deal or a discount, you're not. Raise your price and raise your price and raise your price and make sure to over deliver. Don't oversell, but keep raising that price. And here's the key is if you're not getting no's, if you're not getting people telling you no at your current price, and it's been 5-6 deals, it's time to raise the price. And I'll tell you this, the last 25 people that have joined my program have been at the current price, and I haven't gotten a no in over 25 people that have applied and been accepted. So it's time to raise it. So I don't want to share that because it's going to change, but it's going to go up because it's easy to justify. You get a deal, pays for it. Okay. Charity filled me in on it's colon cancer. Chuck says, thanks for everything. When you do a live transfer, are you doing that from your cell phone? Yeah, just my cell phone. I'm basic, man. I get my cell phone right when I call the lead. I'm like, hey, this is Nick with Minneapolis Concrete. Sorry, I'm calling you from my cell phone. I'm running around. What do you got going on? Now that's not weird. Then I say, hey, give me a second. I'm going to call Jack, whatever, get them online. I patch it together, put myself on mute. That's how I do it. Okay. Very simple. You do it 3, 4, 5 times. It's very easy. Okay. One more question. Google ads versus Facebook ads for initial leads. So here's the deal. The strategy that makes this work, guys, is results in advance using paid ads, right? Or your organic leads if they're coming in. The technique that I'm currently obsessed with is AdWords Express. However, that might change. Like right now, I'm testing out Yelp ads because if Yelp ads are cheaper and they work better, I'm going to do Yelp ads. So it doesn't necessarily matter, but here's what I will tell you. Google ads is a superior product from every angle, in my opinion, because when somebody goes on to Google, they have buyer intent. You don't go to Google and type in handyman near me because you're looking to just have a conversation. You need a problem solved. On the flip side, when you see an ad on Facebook, a lot of times you weren't ever thinking about that. That was something you're like, oh, that's a good idea. And so if I were going to take 10 leads on Facebook, 10 leads on Google, I'll take the Google ones. I pay triple for the Google ones because the Facebook ones don't convert for me calling them and handing them over. And for the business owner, the Google ones are closer to buying than the Facebook ones. But I am testing other things. Yelp, Bing, this could change. That's the beautiful thing. And that's what the beauty, like with me being in this business, it's not like I did it and I'm like, yeah, I'm retired from lead gen. No, I do this every day. So make no mistake, is if there's a better way, I'm going to find out about it. And the people that are closest to me are the ones that are going to hear, they're going to get that information first. Okay. Cool. Got to drop off. Thanks, Nick. You give away more than a program. I know. Yeah, that's my goal, guys. It's like everyone, I've had people ask me, and this is what somebody said the other day. I joined somebody into my program and they're like, hey, Nick, what if I just like join and then I steal your program and I sell it? And I was like, cool. Go, like, guys, if you want to copy me in my program, you got to copy me, right? Like, for example, my last step in my program goes over the close, right? So if you would have copied my program 2 weeks ago, you would have been like, dude, I got his magic formula. I got his script. Well, guess what I did last week? I went in and I took, this is literally the script. I took this script that's been working for 18 months and I'm like freaking Tiger Woods, thinking Tiger Woods is the best swing in the world. And he goes and redoes his swing because he knows there's another level. I literally went and shredded everything about this, tore it apart, put it back together because I'd been testing a couple different things. I shrunk it down. I redid the close literally last, like 2 weeks ago, Tuesday. So almost 2 weeks ago tomorrow. Okay. So if you want to copy me, good luck, because you're literally going to have to keep buying my shit over and over and over because I'm going to keep innovating. The difference between me and a lot of other people is like, I'm doing this. So I'm not one of those people that's like, hey, I made 10K and now I'm going to go make millions. It's like, dude, I've made millions doing this. I'm going to keep making millions, and I'm going to also make millions selling a program, and I'm going to teach you how to do that. So, yeah, that's my goal. And John said, you give away. My goal is I want to give so much stuff away in my free stuff that you guys are like, dude, what the heck's in his paid? Like, this is his free. And I've had multiple people like what's the game? And the game is I'm giving away free leads. Guys, watch what I'm doing. Do the same thing for your clients. Give them so much value. When you give them 3-4 leads, they're like, dude, everyone else calls me and asks me for money. James called me and gave me 3 leads and I went and closed the job for $5,000, dude. Hell yeah, I'm going to sign up with this guy. That's exactly what I'm doing in the group, is over deliver for nothing, knowing that it all works out in the end. Okay. So anyway, guys, I'm going to end it here. Thank you guys all for being on. Those 6 steps one last time: choose the niche, take a site, build a list, set up ads on AdWords Express, set the hook, get the business owner on the hook, send the leads, and close the deal. I will see you guys tomorrow at 4:30 p.m. I'm going to be there it's Monday. Well, it's been a long day. I will see you on Wednesday at 4:30 p.m. MST. And if you're watching this video and it's like 6 months from now, I'm still going to be on Wednesday at 4:30 p.m. and I'm probably going to be looking like this. All right. I'm out, guys. Thanks everybody.